Okay, howdy everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Vormithrax, and we're gonna play some more Shadow Empire. I've had a break. I put myself in timeout for a bit. I was getting a little excitable. I've relaxed my opinions a bit. So I took a break, and I want to revisit it. I did play a little bit of a single player game off camera, just so I could get a little better handle on a few things, and I've done that, so I'm ready to go ahead and dive back into a brand new live stream game and see what we can do. So I want to definitely see if we can get into at least get past the early part of the game, get past turn 30 or 40. Would be nice. So yeah, let's start up a brand new game. I've changed my preferred setup a little bit. We're going to play normal large size, and we're going to go ahead and go with the Siwa class again. But here's where I've made some changes. I'm going to go just drop me in a game now instead of the planetary gen. I find myself just hitting reroll, 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 and never really being overly pleased with the mix. So I said, well, why bother then? Let's just get dropped right in, and we'll be good. I'm also going to go with a complete Fog of War, the true Grognard 4X setting. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know the overall shape of the planet. I assume it's round in some way, but yeah, I don't want to know the colonization info. I don't want to see anything about the roads or where the cities are, none of that. So we're not going to do partial. We're not going to do complete after colonization. We're just going to go in with a dead black map that I have to fully explore. So we'll see how the random handles me and how I handle what I get from the random. So I'm trying to embrace the random is what I'm saying. All right, so we're going to do, of course, one player. City-state start still, and the next most important thing I've changed is I'm going to go with the one army per zone start. I really don't like how many balance problems I have when I do the militia-only start because of the purely random way it seems like the worlds are generated and the choices of cities are picked and where the random animals and marauders show up and so on. So I think the one army per zone is gonna mitigate my high level of irritation at that particular combination of randoms that occur that are driving me a bit mad. So we're going to go with one army per zone. That gives me some ability to deal with any really immediately impending issues that occur that won't just waste half an hour of my time going through all the setup stuff and rolling a random planet, getting a random city, and then finding out I've got 80 marauders literally sitting right on top of my city. This will give me a little bit of better option to deal with that. Speed up the early game just slightly. It's not really that much because I could summon up a unit that would be the equivalent of what I'm going to start with within the first 5 or 6 turns usually. But it does help. So we're going to go with that. So we're going to have one army per zone. It is going to speed up a bit. Still going to play without the story mode modules. I'm just still not comfortable enough with the base mechanics of the game and understanding all the underlying systems and where all the buttons and reports and information are, especially as we advance past the turn 30 or so phase. So I'm definitely going to add them in at some point, but they add things that I don't want to deal with right now. So we're going to go with the base gameplay. Tech 3 still, normal development at Supreme Council, and regular difficulty, of course. I don't truck with no beginner difficulties. So there we go. In we go. Like I said, totally random, and it's going to drop me right in. We're not going to see any other intermediate screens. So let's cross our fingers. Let's hope. Don't put me in mountain range, please. All right, let's go ahead and change the union name. We are going to be, of course, the Thraxian. I love calling it a republic, and then calling myself the God Emperor. I think that's a hilarious dichotomy. But let's go with the Thraxian Empire, I guess. We'll stick with Empire. We're the God Emperor. What type of planet? I think I said in the title. Didn't the title go through? I put the details in the title of the stream. Siwa class, normal, large, regular difficulty. For once, I actually remembered to update my title, and I didn't have to get reminded to switch it back off of Cataclysm. What I should do is create a command like I have for Minecraft and for Cataclysm that you can type in to get details on the current challenge, and I'll probably do that if we continue playing long term, which I hope we do. I really want to love the game. It pushes a whole big old passel of my my fun buttons, with what it's trying to do. I just got to get past what it actually is doing in a few circumstances versus it's trying. Warhammer reference? I can flip out Warhammer references, but I'm not sure I made... Oh, you mean the God Emperor? Well, sure, I guess. Warhammer's not the first reference that originated that term, but we can say it does. Sure, it's a term for the Emperor in the Warhammer universe, 40k in particular. All right, let's switch my colors around. Man, I wish this saved my colors. I mean, if people want to change it every time, fine, but save it every time, and then they can change the saved version. Make us people that use the same options every time the default, and so I don't have to type this in every single time. So umber, burnt orange, whatever this color is, and purple. Vertical, please. And do I get my favorite? Oh man, I got a pretty short list this time. And I don't have my favorite. Somebody's taken my favorite again. That's another thing I don't like. Why don't I get to choose from all the available symbols? And then if they need to be parceled out to the NPCs, let them pick my leavings. Don't give me a short list sometimes and I have to pick some other symbol I don't want. All right, we'll go with that one. I'm going to try to be economically focused, meritocracy focused again. We'll see how successful I am. In we go. Thraxan Empire, preparing your turn for play. We suffered no losses. So during my test game, it was hilarious because I started the game, I got this message, and before I even got a turn in the game, it said, "We have killed 300 infantry and suffered no losses." That's always a good sign, I guess. Bad sign means you've got friends knocking on the doors of your capital city. So I dealt with the problem, but I think it's hilarious that I can get a "you killed things" message before I'm actually even in the game. All right, previous God Emperor is buried. Yes, cheer me. The new zeitgeist is efficiency. Public assets will get more production more production bonus. All right, 700 public economy bonus points. So cool enough. Fat merchant, 1,000 credits. Loss of faith and ancient archive. Pretty standard. All right, here we go. So our ascension speech. So I would like to focus on meritocracy and commerce and knowledge, or mind, if I can. So only one they gave me is that I want is the calculating and logical mind. So I guess we'll go with that. We're definitely gonna add the economic council. Gotta have the council. Okay, that's it. What did we get? What do we get? Delete these. All right. Flat land right on the ocean. So, or a sea, or a lake, or a lagoon. I do find it also amusing that the bodies of water just have a random name pool they all draw from. So you can have a 1-tile ocean, and you can have a 50-tile lagoon. Something like that. That's fun. All right. I am not aware of any ability for changing any of the references in that way. Whether it's going to be possible or not, I can't answer. I don't have that kind of detail. Not part of the beta team and such. I just I play the preview copy I'm given. So I don't know. I'm not sure if there's going to be gender options or anything else. I know that you're not going to be able to change up the names of the characters, the personal names. You can change like province names and unit names and other types of names, but you can't change the leader character names and such. I don't know. So yeah, that's our situation. So a lot of flat ground. Maybe we're on one of those 99% plains planets. I hope not. I really prefer to have some variety in my war games with regards to terrain. It's an extremely important consideration in war games, and hopefully we have some. But yeah, flat ground, 2 roads, a couple of miners. Whoops, don't want that. Get rid of the units. So no ruins. We have water on our mostly water space. That's great. No ruins that are in sight. No special unit or hex bonuses or anything like that. All right. So we should not have any water problems, of course, given our location. I do need to check reports, help, planetary statistics. So I didn't look at or do a detailed planetary setup or even the partial, so I need to look at this. Respiratory hazards, none. Perfectly breathable? Really? Biohazards, none? Air and agriculture, atmosphere, toxicity, minor. No alien nutritional value, so we can't eat the critters. Rainfall is regular. Oxygen. This is like Earth 2. this is pretty much Earth 2. I don't think I've seen an Earth 2 world yet. We're only at 0.2 gravities, but I don't know the rest of the stats and what is Earth normal. But farming method advised is Terran plants, open sky farming. Yeah, no domes for us. So that's good. Faster and cheaper for us to get those other ones up. But yeah, all right. So for gameplay purposes and the hazards, it's damn near Earth 2. And plentiful rainfall. So water's not going to be an issue. No problem with water. The only thing I don't know is the distribution of like mountains to forests and all that kind of stuff. We may be on a gigantic plains world for all I can tell so far. But yeah, the map is completely blank. I can't see nothing. I don't know where nobody's at. I don't know how many people I'm playing against. I don't like that as well. I really wish during World Gen somewhere, if I want to play on a huge world or huge map with one enemy, why can't I? Why is it all got to be randomly generated? I can't pick how many opponents I have. I can't pick the miners, how many. I can't. There's so many things I can't do that I think I should be able to set some options for. That I don't know. I hope we get some additional control in the future. That's part of my beef with the random that I seem to run into with the game. I wish there was just a little more player agency in a few areas. All right. So what are we going to do? We got all the food we need, or all the water we need, so food's going to be our focus. Food first, then we need to find metals. Metals and IP bonuses would be awesome. You can't get IP production bonuses without lots and lots of metals, so it's always a race for metals. I need either a metal mine to be located, or I need a deposit, that is, or I need ruins that I can set up a recycling unit at. One or the other. So we need to do some investigation. We got water at one side, hopefully protecting us. Let's, which units did they give me? I did get 2 trucks. That's good. 2 motorized. So we have here, here's our order of battle, by the way. So I did start with the 1 army. So in addition to the militia, the normal start, this is what you would get normally if you don't choose the 1 army start. In addition to that, we also have that. It's just a standard brigade. It's what I would get if I went replenished. No, not replenished. If I went raised formation and I said brigade with a headquarters, this is what it is. It's this 5,500 infantry, light infantry brigade. Same thing. So it's not something that's totally out of reach. I mean, I'd build one within a few rounds at the most if I needed an army right away. So I could put this out on turn 3. Turn 1, I'd need to raise the infantry by talking to the governor. Turn 2, we might have enough, and I could tell it to build. And then turn 3, 4, it would be ready to actually start moving after it got some readiness. So, like I said, it speeds things up a bit just in case we get enemies right on top of us for whatever reason. But I find that it eases some of my issues that I have with the early game and the randomness. All right, so these are the well, 3, 4 of the 5. 1, 1, 1, 1. We must have a unit. You. That's you. You're also you. There's the 5 brigades that are part of that army group. We're gonna keep them together, use them for combat purposes. So let's go to our militia units. Actually, let's do some other stuff first. So we have plentiful water. Can we sell water? We cannot sell water. So we have no easy way of making a little bit of cash. Can't sell our food or our metals. I do want to, as traditional, buy... Oh, crap. I can't even buy... What is going on? I can't even buy machines on turn 1? Oh, never mind. I was on the sell screen. I was going to say, that'd be weird. Alright, we'll buy our 4 machines. I need that for early building, and we want to have it available. What else? Before I start moving army mans, we're going to do a few other things. Let's go talk to the... Oh, let's go look at our people. I got to get in the habit of looking at my people. I'm being bad. Personnel overview. Let's look at the cabinet overview first. So the first one I'm actually curious about is my secretary. So, ooh, holy crap! A capacity 4 secretary? No, you're getting fired. You're gonna get put to work some other capacity. I need you doing some important stuff, not being my contact gopher for my other leaders. Capacity 4 is going to learn really fast and add a bunch of skills and skill points. So I need you doing other stuff. Probably technical stuff. Maybe I'll fire this one, and then I'll put this one in slot of the economic council we just started. So that's a possibility. So one lesson I've learned, if I'm gonna probably end up doing a video at some point of things I wish I had known when you start playing this game. And one of the main things is to fire your secretaries. You get given an automatic replacement secretary if you fire the one you've got in place currently. They just give you a brand new one for free. And if it's got great stats in some particular way or great capacity, get them out of that secretary position and slot them into one of the more important positions. You may have to deal with some unhappiness depending on what position you put them into for a while. But long term, that capacity value is going to be way more beneficial, I believe, in other locations. But it's a way of cycling in new leaders without having to do the recruit option with your PP. So yeah, I'm gonna fire this guy right now. This is probably gonna hurt me in some way that I can't consider long range. But I want this capacity 4 person doing something else. I'm gonna give you another job. Yep, just diminished by 24. That's fine. And let's see. So they gave me a new one. Here's the new one, capacity 2. That's okay, capacity 2. I'd rather like a capacity 1 in here, but some fighting tactics and fighting skills on that. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'm not going to continue cycling through those guys for the moment. What do we got here? Advisor, you are good at what? Mostly tech stuff and a little bit of bribery. All right, and some combat stuff. Let's see. This is my Supreme Command Council leader. Yeah, you're pretty bad at your job. Oh man. Yeah, these starting leaders just make me shake my head. They give us these junk leaders with no real abilities or anything. And then they give us difficulty checks of like 200 and you can only possibly roll like a 125. Oh, that's good times. Good times. When you start the game and you get faced with all these difficulty checks you can't even remotely meet. Seniority rank 100. He's the old man of the Republic. Yeesh. He's got maxed out seniority. It's gonna be hard to fire him. It's gonna hurt when I try to fire that guy. Hopefully he succumbs, and I won't have to deal with him for too long. Because he's terrible, but he's got seniority. This guy's awesome. He's one of the worst characters in the game with capacity of 1 and no real skill, but he's the max seniority possible. Great. So yeah, I'm not too impressed there. What else we got? How is my reserve pool member? Cap 4? Oh wait, that's my secretary I fired. I should have one more, right? No? Thought I'd have one more. Alright, however, how's the governor? He's the other one I need to check. Cap 2. Cap 2 with not much going for you. A little bit of leadership and diplomacy. Alright, we won't mess with you for the moment then. Suitability rating of 3. I'm tempted to fire this person too, but let's not. Let's settle down. Alright, so we got some idea of who we're working with. Yeah, let's sort by capacity. So we got our reserve pool member is the highest capacity of any of my leadership. Lovely. All right, well we know where that person's going. We'll worry about the less question later. All right, so I want to call the governor. Issue some zone headquarter decisions. I want recruits. Give me all the recruits. Max that sucker out. And we're going to pay him a little more. We're going to pay the workers a little more. And we're going to give some money to the public budget. Whoops, not that. Not max. I'm trying to click the button. There we go. 10 credits. That should be all I need to worry about. Alright, worker happiness went up a bit, which is fine. So we got a massive influx of soldiers coming our way. And we'll put them to use, I'm sure, pretty quickly. So we got our trading done. We got our governor work done. Our strat cards we're going to wait on for the moment. Do I want to do an early militia sacrifice? I don't have any cards to play it with, but it would start to improve the earlier I do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it now. So we lost militancy in the zone, which is kind of how our militia ranking is worked. The higher it is, the better, and the more often we get units for the militia that we don't have direct control over that process normally. So I'm going to sacrifice that to gain some fate points that we'll use. And that's pretty much all I can do here. I don't want to send a spy till I know who's around me. I don't have the points for anything else. So yeah, we're done here. All right, let's move some units around. So the army men's, like I said, we're going to keep together. Give me you, and we're just going to go drive down the road. See what the road shows us. Not much that direction so far. Whoops. You is who I want. You. Go off down the other road. Oh, and look at that. Hey there, random. So, we found a major. The major is, his capital is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces from my capital. Major regime. Surround him as fast as possible. I guess, but I mean, this is the kind of random stuff that I just don't understand. It's a big world. There's probably only 1 or 2 of these other guys, maybe 3. But he's 8 spaces. His capital's 8 spaces from my capital. So now I'm going to get tied up trying to wrap him up so that he doesn't take all my nearby territory. I'll take his territory, but that's going to wrap the 2 of us up while all the other minors and majors go about the business of, you know, getting bigger and expanding. Oh man. Here we go again. Well, I'm glad I raised the troops to max. Yeah, all you guys rush north. Let's try to get some kind of an encirclement type action going on. Oops. Yep, you're going with them. And militia, you're going with them. All right, leaves my headquarters and some militia, and we're gonna have to send everybody. I need to get as many units up there as possible just to block him from moving and to claim the territory, because we can't move into each other's territory. So the faster I can block him off, the better. If I could surround him, that would be optimal, because then he wouldn't be able to move without declaring war on me. And on the defense, I get the advantage. So if I just park units in a circle around him, I get entrenchment bonuses, and the game is naturally slanted to give the defender a lot of advances or advantages. So I doubt it's going to happen, though. If he's an active major, because I have had problems in a game or 2 where the major did nothing. It just sat in place and never moved out of its capital little area here. So we'll find out when it processes the turn whether this is an active or an inactive one. But the quicker I can get up here and draw a line and or get around him and surround him, the better I am. So yeah, so we're going to move everybody. Get them all heading up this way. Alright, so we got that done. Now I got to decide how important. I could raise a formation right now. Let's see, back to the base. Raise a formation. No, I can't. I have... Wait. I should be able to. Raise formation. Oh, that's right. Not with HQ. Independent. Now I can't do that way either. What am I missing? Oh, I have no... I don't have the political points. It takes political points to raise troops. So yeah, we're done. I can't raise any troops this turn. So next turn we're gonna get a big old boatload of recruits coming in, and what I'm hoping to do is skip the independent stuff, go straight to the light infantry brigade. My preference would be the machine gun infantry brigade, or the machine guns. So slightly lower the attack power, but dramatically increase the defensive power. So I much prefer this one over this one. So that's my hope, but we might reach 5,500 to be able to deploy a complete group. 65 we should have, if I don't build anything else, which is going to be dangerous. We've got the metal, and we'll have the points. So yeah, I'll come real close to be able to fielding one of these beginning of next round. But that's at the expense of things like food production. If I immediately go to a war footing and start mass producing troops to try to bum rush this guy, or at least stall him, I might starve to death, because I got to get producing food right away. The food requirements are going to start going up quite substantially. So, buggies are great in theory, but they're expensive as hell. So if I try to raise a buggy formation, independent, of course, it's the metal requirement and the IP requirement. I mean, it's as many IP as this motorized infantry battalion, but it's a very small unit, and it takes a lot of metal, comparatively speaking. So it's just a tiny unit. So it's one unit versus if I do an HQ, I get 6 units effectively to actually act as blockers. So each one of these boxes is its own brigade. So by ordering this one, I get 6 different units, whereas if I order this, I get 1 unit. But it's complicated, but it's expensive. They're great for recon. Don't get me wrong. I want buggies. But reconning the space doesn't do me any good. I'm tied to the road networks, and briefly owning a section to get a look at it doesn't prevent somebody else from just moving right into it. So I have to make a decision right now, a really important one. Like I said, I got to decide whether I start dropping a agricultural. So if I pick a space and I say construct, I have the option to do the agricultural facility instead of the dome. So it's only a single round of these costs instead of 2 rounds. So these domes cost literally twice as much as the open air farming. The open air cost upkeep is more water to do than a dome facility, because the dome is more efficient that way. But it's double the cost to the dome. It takes 2 rounds of that amount as opposed to 1 round of that amount. So if I'm willing to spend the 50, I mean, I've got it now and the metal now. I could have this done next round and producing the round after. But that's going to slow down my creation of that next army group pretty substantially as well. So I think knowing what's going to happen to my food and knowing that I'm going to get tied up in a fight that I won't be able to stop producing new troops for, I better go for the agricultural facility. I think I need to get this up and get the 200 food production coming in before this gets a big problem. So it's possible I could buy food for a while and offset, but I want my money for other things as well. So I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to go ahead and start construction. We'll get the food facility going here in Wells, and I'll just have to wait an extra round or so to get that next army group out. All right, we've moved our units. I got nobody else I can move. We've done trade. We've checked our colony or our governor in the city and raised our troop quotient. So he's going to send me or try to raise a whole mess of troops. I have no strat cards I can play. We're pretty much done for the round. So let me check chat here real quick, and we'll go forward again. Howdy, everybody. What does capacity do? I initially thought it was capability was what it was trying to tell me. So it has a number from 1 to 5. And I thought it was the capability, meaning how good the person is at their job. But it's not how good they are currently. It's essentially their capacity to learn. So the higher that number is, the faster they're going to learn new skills and accumulate and get better at them. So it's their capacity to learn. So you want as many high capacity folks as possible, because they're, with management and leaving them in their jobs for an extended period of time, they're going to grow faster and to a much larger extent than the lower capacity folks are. That's what I have learned, but I haven't played far enough yet to understand exactly all the ramifications there and just how long it takes to shepherd them and so on. So I guess it's possible you might, in the early game, for example, have a capacity 1 guy who's not going to learn very fast as time goes by. He's not going to expand his abilities all that quickly, but he could come in with really, really good stats in one or two areas that makes him better in the short term, but worse in the long term. So it all kind of, it's a trade-off thing. And I like trade-offs. I like player agency and having to make decisions of that type. That's good. But I was really confused by that capacity thing for a while. But that's my understanding how it works. Does the game have a story? It has a very extensive story. It has a quite extensive background history, setting up the situation that the world finds itself in and such. I'm not going to try to repeat it or go over it, but in broad terms, Flame Dance has mentioned it. Galactic Republic that went kaput. No more interstellar travel, no spaceships going between planets, so planets basically descended into barbarism, and now you're trying to rebuild on basically the ashes of the previous republic. So there are hidden caches of technology that you can find to get basically free upgrades for your troops. You find laser rifles and fusion guns and jetpacks and so on, which I have an issue with. I don't have an issue with them being in the game. I have an issue with just how radically powerful they are as a random here between turn 1 and turn 2. You just found 500 units of Galactic Republic infantry with full power armor and fusion rifles. They have an attack value of 2,000 and a defense value of 8,000. Your units have an attack value of 20 and a defense value of 40. I got no problem with those things being in the game, but because they're supposed to be super tech beyond your normal reach, they've got these values that are just wildly out of balance with what else you've got. And it's random. It's random whether they hand them to you or not, or whether they hand them to your enemy. So it irks me that there's such a massive swing in either direction. And it makes me feel like it's removing any agency I have from the game. No matter what kind of decisions I make, how well I play the game, how well I agonize over all the minuscule percentages and details to eke out an advantage, a random event can suddenly happen, and it makes everything I've done up to that point just feel relatively irrelevant. That's my issue. It's the scale and the scope of some of the random things that happen that bugged me a bit. If they were in the game and the unit that found them would get a bonus of some kind, raise their effectiveness a bit or something, that'd be better in my opinion. I'm just not a fan of these huge, no control by the player gotchas or gimmies that just radically alter your situation without any control or any ability by the player being considered. But I'm trying to embrace the random suck, so we're gonna keep going. All right, but yeah, it's a 4X game. 4X, well, it's a war game with some 4X stuff, and it's got some really nicely detailed systems, mechanisms, modifiers, really, really deep and complex, which is the part that bugs me. I love that level of detail, complexity, layering, and so on. I love digging into the nuts and bolts of the mechanics and figuring things out and testing my brain against them and all that. Which is why I detest when all of a sudden I pull my head out of all that detail and then get bammo, random roll because two guys got drunk in a bar. You have to roll a D100. You cannot possibly win. You then crit fail by rolling a 1, and now your city that you've carefully shepherded through 30 turns into a glowing metropolis is suddenly got 80 unrest and 80 unhappiness and so on. No control, just a random event. Totally trashes everything you've been working on and you've been carefully considering for however long. Ugh. It's just the scale. Just tone those damn things down by like 90% and I would be all over it. I would be golden. I would be a happy camper. But the swings are just so massive and so wild and so out of the player control. That's my main and only primary beef with the way the game's working currently. So maybe there'll be some adjustments or some things in the future. I don't know. But for now, I have firmly decided to just embrace it and trudge on. All right, this sucks though. This is the random that I don't like, where it doesn't feel like there's any accommodation when building the map for the player positions. It's just purely random. The game world generated 2 cities, and then when it got the point to start putting players in, it doesn't decide or say, hey, let's make sure the players are X distance apart or have access to X resource or so on. And So you end up spending half an hour just to find out you're in a no-win situation and then having to go start all over again. Crap. Oh yeah, I was reading comments. And then I got sidetracked. 5 cap is best. The higher the number, the better for capacity. All right. Does he have a special? Yeah, I think that's just the power thing. I have the same thing. Yeah, it's just the free power asset. Oh, not the dome farm. Yeah, it's this thing, the degraded LE. So it's the free power thing. So that's not an issue. He's got the free power thing and he's got a water. That's the same thing I start with. All right, units are back. I think I was all done. So let's go ahead and process the turn and see if we get handed some Galactic Republic machine gunners that will really help us crack that city. All right, preparing your turn. No losses. All right. Lots of decisions. So those are the same. See, this is the random event. This is that kind of thing. This time we just got fuel handed to us. And some machinery. You know the 4 machinery I bought? They just gave me 4 machinery. And apparently we did not get granted any Galactic Republic troops, unfortunately. Hopefully neither did my enemy. Alright, so more cards. Did he do anything? Well, he moved his units somewhere. Which is pretty dumb. He had to have... I guess it's mildly possible he didn't see me coming. But we're still going straight at him. I still need to get up there and surround and cut off. Because the border is fixed between me and him. I can't cross his border. He can't cross my border. So if I can get this secured quickly and not let him out, he'll have to declare war on me, and then I'll have an advantage. So that's the big question mark. So I need you up here because you're the most mobile. So if I move here and then try to move in, we have to declare war to do so. I'm going to say no. I still don't see any of his units. I can't see that he's expanded the border any. Oh, so he did expand the border. So he moved his units. He just moved them directly away from me, it looks like. So we're going to try to pin him in as much as I can. He's going to end up probably going around me. So we're going to do this little circle thing. I'm going to go here so I can try to secure that before he gets to it. Alright, so I need to get units up this way as quickly as possible. Let's go there. Yeah, he went east. There. Get this border secured as much as possible before he does. Still completely flat. All flat. I haven't seen any ruins yet. So unless we get handed a metal deposit, we're going to be in trouble real quick. Alright, so my trucks are done. Those guys are done. I won't be able to push further that way for now. These guys are going to be out of supply pretty quick. Although flat terrain means they've got a pretty good supply link that they can go to. It's all really, really light, easy terrain to maneuver in. If this guy... let's see. I got to stay on the road. That's what always stops me. Is I got to stay on the road. We got mountains here, so at least we got some terrain. He's not allowed into my territory, like I said, without declaring war. So the first one to claim these unclaimed hexes gets to keep them until we pull the trigger. I sure am curious about declaring war and just swarming his city here. I suspect he's got a stack of units on there. I just can't see it yet. I only got Recon 5 in that space, so he's got units there. Probably an army group. So it wouldn't be a turn 2 win or anything like that. So don't be fooled that you're not seeing any units there. They're there. I just don't have enough recon to spot them yet. And I won't get the recon without declaring war and stepping adjacent. I do have spies. We'll use them. Don't worry. Yeah, actually, I screwed up. We found that guy late in the first round. I should have reevaluated my strat cards and dropped a spy on him last turn. So that was a tactical mistake on my part. Let's fix that. Let's go covert ops, target that guy. We need an 84. We failed. Try again. I got 14. I need to do some things, but let's try again. All right, we got one spy in. Unfortunately, I was hoping to double it up. We'd get better info with multiple spies, but at least we got one in. We'll get some basic info until they find and kill him. Do our decisions before we do anything else. All right, spend the money for the parade? Yes. Yes, go ahead. Dissatisfied elements. Here comes the random events that screw your city. Yeah, dissatisfaction. Oh, no, never mind. This is him. Oh, this is the Matator rebel thing. I don't have the money to help you, dude. Well, wait, it hasn't updated my money. There we go. Now it's up. I could try to sell some stuff to see if we can update, but got not much to sell. But I would want to try. We're gonna have to say no, buddy. Holocon Empire. Is that the Holocon Empire? That's not the Holocon Empire. I don't know where the Holocon Empire is. High space. No. Yeah, I'm not sure where that's at. Holocon Empire. Yeah, it's somebody out here, but I whatever. Somebody in this direction. I'm gonna have to say no. I don't want to spend the money on that right now. I would love to do it, but no.
Yes, sir.
All right, incident with firing a popular subject. Yay! Random event. Let's trash your rating with a leader, or lose a whole bunch of unrest and lose your primary focus for your profile. Thanks, game. So if I discipline this guy, his 57, he's my first SHQ. He's a pretty important dude. He's going to get really mad because I discipline him and tell him bad governor or bad commander. Or I got to get unrest in the city and lose points on my major focus for my profile. 48. 3 points will put me to 51, which will get me enough to start ticking the box on the next bonus. And it will cause a little unrest and a little less unhappiness. So I think we'll take the moderate route.
Affirmative.
Yeah, -3. That's way better than the other one I picked. I think the other one would have been like -20 or 30. That's a huge difference. All right, that's okay then. National budget. Let's go 50-50. What do you think? Let's share the wealth.
Copy that.
Trader Society demands that you hire their candidate. I didn't look at what factions we got. Let's take a look. So we got the Armed Reformist League currently, which is enforcement and autocracy, neither of which I like. So I like these guys. I want the Trader Society. Mind is one of the things I actually do want to raise that I was hoping to focus on. So I want to support the Trader Society. So I think that's a fine idea. Let's hire your candidate. Please don't send me a a 1. Who do I got currently to remind myself? Actually, let's switch to the other decisions real quick. So, oh no, I want to hire first because I might get somebody better. National decision. What I wanted to do though is look at my personnel overview. So currently we have Willie Vickers is my only leader. That's the capacity 4 guy I'm thinking of slotting into the Economic Council. So we're going to say yes.
Aye, sir.
Gordon Zalgani has reported. All right, let's go look at Gordon real quick. Show me reserve only, please. So Gordon Zalgani, capacity 1. That's not a good start. 17 intelligence. Holy mackerel! That is probably the worst character I've ever seen. he's terrible in the main stats. I mean, terrible. The other guys are like 20s and 30s. So he's dumb as a stump in all the combined categories. Nothing whatsoever other than a little tiny bit of improvisation. Oh yeah, him I want to put in a command leadership role. All right, well now I'm not so excited about that faction sending me their dregs. New director. How about we not send Gordon Zalgani? Let's go ahead and send Willie. We know he's got a pretty good rating. He's got a tech rating and suitability rating's good. So you're in. There, we got the relation points back. Remember, we fired him and told him we'd get him a new job. So we got the relation points back again. He was our secretary when we first started, so he's back up to 84. That is awesome. We got a capacity 4 leader with good relationship. This is important because you get bonuses when it's above 50 and bad things when it's below 50. So we managed to swap him into a much, much more suitable job, and he's happy. So I'm super happy about that. Let's go only 10% research because currently there's nothing to research. Let's go 0. I just got to remember to change that once we unlock something to read. Well, actually, is it 0? I think we can research the Tech 1 stuff, right? No, it's all, we have to discover everything. We haven't discovered anything yet, so I'm correct. So yeah, we're going to do research 0 because there ain't nothing to research. We have to discover them first. So, and then I'm going to change. I need metal. Let's go 20% for economics and 20% for discovery. All right. I want prospecting. I need to know what in my immediate area has got mining capability here. So that's good.
Yes,
Confirm that. And high space demands an oath of peace. Is that high space? No. That's high space. Really? I haven't even started taking all your crap? Well, I've taken a little bit of your crap. And now you're wanting an oath of peace? That doesn't sound like a good idea. But I also don't want to mix it up with a minor while I'm about to mix it up with a major. This is an inconvenient thing. Because I'm pretty sure this is going to lock our borders if I say yes to this. And then I won't be able to roll down and grab up some more of this territory in hopes of securing a mine or an oil well or whatever. Wow, that's a really inconvenient offer to get. And if I say no, we're going to raise the fist profile, which is already putting pressure and lowering our mind profile, which I'm trying to get back in control of this situation. What to do? What? If I didn't have that major right there that I was trying to deal with, I would just instantly say no and go thump the minor. But I'm gonna have to have all of my units spread out trying to hold the border with that major for a bit. I'm gonna say no. I'll take the consequences. I'm gonna say no.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, relation dropped. Fist went up. Not a surprise. Alright. So if I get any units free, I can run them down to try to scout. Like a buggy. A buggy would be awesome for that right now. The trick is to grab up the border, then declare peace, so you can then lock it with you in control of the majority of it. That's the trick. That's what you try to do. But it takes a few specific things to have that actually happen. All right, so we've gone through our decisions. Let's see. I don't think I can sell anything still. Yeah, nothing to sell still. I don't need to buy for now. So there's that new food number. It's going to go down quick. It's going to disappear fast. Good news is we did get our farm completed, construction finished. So that's going to start producing next turn. So this will flop. We'll actually start gaining a small amount. So this will put us ahead of the food drain curve for a bit. So all it did was buy me some time, but that's going to be enough time to hopefully get my border secured. All I really want is if I could secure some portion out here and then down to this miner, that much. If I could get that much, and if there's metal in there somewhere, either through a mine we discover or a ruin I can connect to, then I can try to seal my borders and do some development for a while. So I'm going to try to do that and getting into as few fights as possible, but we'll see if it's going to happen or not. Can multiple farms or other buildings be built in one tile? Not of the same type. You can have one of a type in a tile. You then upgrade that type. So like right now, if I go to that tile, it's got the agricultural 1 building there. If I go to construct, then agricultural facility 2 is opened up and available. And instead of 200 food, it's going to generate 500 food. Takes 1 round, takes these resources. This isn't hard to get. 62 IP you're going to have initially anyway. 125 metal. This is going to be a little painful. It's going to take you a turn or two at this stage to gather that. But within a few rounds, you could even get this one up and have 500 food generation instead of 200 food generation. It's going to take more workers, which I might have to stretch to get to that kind of a worker total. It's going to drain my pop in my city a bit. But yeah, you can only have 1 type per space. And then you just upgrade that type. So that's the situation. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with all these army mans. All these army mans. We're not officially at war yet. It's mostly a rush of units just to grab up the border, unclaimed border. So I've got a fairly fast unit I'll run up, but at this point, he's going to get to go before this guy goes again. So if he comes, just walks like so, he'll cut me off because I won't be able to get through these mountains. So all he has to do is secure this part of the road, and my northern expansion is pretty much done. So these guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and split them up and start trying to secure some over here. Let's go this away, that away. Not going to be able to get much more this round in that direction. It's looking like we got a pretty good body of water over here on our left, so this guy will be able to march up probably to this area next round, and if he's not cut off, we'll send him north. If he is cut off, we'll bring him over. So I think we're going to have pretty much everything I can explore over here done. So let's, I'm thinking of bringing somebody back. I need to get some folks out this way. I might actually send some units down this way. These guys are going to try to keep scraping along this side of them. They're not going to be able to go much further because they're already out their distance from the road and still receive supplies. So yeah, we're gonna have a problem keeping them supplied. You're limited in how far you can actually move away from your road network. So I might be able to get these guys to finish this wrap around, but that'd probably be about it. So let's turn that back off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. God, I don't want to bring. I want to keep this army group together, and then I want to split them up all over the place. I wish I had sent at least 1 militia south instead of bringing everybody up here at this point. But them's the breaks. So I am gonna have to break these guys up, I think. Let's get him running south like so. I'd love to secure this road network here because then we've got a road connection for supplies out this way as well. I'm going to push him directly out that way. We're going to try to go due south. Oh. What do we have? Got 2 units in the headquarters left. Let's leave you guys. I don't think the major's going to try to go after me immediately. He could. I'm going to move these guys south as well, though. I think I'm more worried about the minor acting up with the negative that we just gave him than I am with the major. Plus, we're going to be pushing into the negatives territory and getting him madder and madder. So yeah. All right, let's do that. I think everybody's moved. I got no other options. We've got our plans for how to try to deal with this major. My only other option would be to declare war on him and immediately just try to saturate him, but we're gonna wait at least a little bit. I wanna know more about what's going on before we do that. All right, so I got 6 points left. Do I? Let's look at the possibility of. I don't have the IP or the metal, so raising that formation that I talked about. Oops, yeah, isn't gonna happen. So if we try to do it with the HQ, especially, cancel, put it back on the capital, then try to raise it. See? Well, never mind. 98%. We're close. Closer than I thought. So I could raise this full infantry brigade with a headquarters unit, which is basically identical. I don't know. Actually, I have it. This is light, right? Oh no, they do have the machine gun. So this is the one I like. 98%. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it on the field. There. Raise formation. Alright, so this is what we're gonna bring back, or we're gonna bring brigade strength with an HQ. So it's the full brigade. And the mix of infantry and machine guns is my preferred. Raise formation. So we are short a few guys. Next turn we'll do replace troops, and we'll raise the 100 infantry we ended up coming up short. And they'll then go join the units and come up to readiness. But it's pretty close enough. That way if I need it in the next couple of turns, we can deploy it in either direction. We'll use the existing units as our territory claimers and scouts, and we'll use this one. We'll let it sit until something happens, and it'll get some readiness. Right now it's at 50, so we want it to just sit here and pass time for at least 2 turns. That usually brings it up to 90, 95 readiness. And then we can start marching to whichever direction we need to go. Okay, I think we're all set. Not doing anything else. We've committed our points. Trying to start building something else right now is not going to be too useful. Next things I need to build are transport network. I need to get a truck network up. And then I need to get bureaucratic office. And I need to get metal production. In whichever order I can manage it. Depending on war declarations. Depending on whether we find metal. And so on. So I can't think of anything else we need to do. So let's go ahead and hit end turn. Okay, no losses, no kills, 3 decisions. Oh, there we go. We got granted the freebies. 200 Galactic Republic Grenade Infantry. So it's not the Galactic Republic machine guns, and it's a low number, 200 as opposed to 3, 4. I don't know how high the numbers actually go. I think 400 is the highest I remember. But that's the super troops. So we got handed 2 super troopers. Yeah, Mega Basics are back. I put on my hazmat suit, attached my respirator, got my biggest backpack strapped to my back, and made a trip to Costco. we have re-upped our supply of Mega Biscuits, so they're back on the back on the table. All right, so let's find out where they're at, and then we also got handed some credits. And then we also got handed some more credits. Okay. It's like 550 credits or so, plus the Galactic Republic troops. Another spy. Okay. So, yeah, I know all you. Let's go find those troops. Where are you? Right there. And look, he didn't move north. Oh, man. Silly Major. silly Major. How is the situation in my area? I don't know. What I can see from out my window says that nothing's on fire. No looting I can hear. Other than that, I'm playing games a lot, on the internet. So there's our troops. Here's what I was talking about. This is what drives me batty. Just a random event. They just handed me these troops. So let me show you first. This is an infantry troop. So in comparison to my typical infantry troop, this guy, it's this foot troop. So I have a foot troop, an infantry unit that uses a slug thrower. He's got, I'm just going to look at the soft numbers. 27 soft attack and 54 soft defense. 27 and 54 for a single unit of foot. So the things that we just got handed have 178 and 355, and that's on the low end. I've seen some of these guys that have these numbers in the thousands. So yeah, there you go. And we got 2 of these guys. So they're gonna help us crack the cities. I mean, there's only 2 of them, and I can't replace them. They have downsides. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're sometimes they're just ridiculous. Okay, let's think about this. So we'll zoom out 1 level here. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Alright, NPC or minor nation.